Today we'll be looking at one of, if not the best anti-heroes Rockstar Games has ever made, and why that is the case and why do I think that way. Well, for starters, in my opinion, Michael is the most fleshed out of the three main characters of GTA 5, and when you look at it, GTA 5 truly does feel like it is Michael's story. This is quite obvious when you take into consideration the two main conflicts that take place in the game, whether it's the one with the FIB and IAA and Steve Haynes and whatnot, or the one with Trevor. The story portrays Michael as the one character that is actually responsible for both of the main conflicts that I just mentioned. Hell, one could argue that he is the reason that the whole story even unfolded, because of the whole deal with Martin Madrazo and so on that happened at the beginning. Another reason is that he is, in my opinion, the easiest one to relate with out of the trio, especially looking at his main fallout with Trevor for this one, because while yes, he did sell out his crew in a really scummy way, you have to put yourself in this guy's shoes first. You are part of the most wanted heist crew in the US. You have a wife and kids to look after. You have enough money to leave that lifestyle once and for all, and worst of all, your best friend and partner is an unpredictable, crazy psycho who could snap and kill you and your entire family at literally any given moment. Sure, Trevor likely wouldn't have done that, but Michael can't really be sure simply because of how unpredictable Trevor is, and who knows what kind of shit he saw Trevor do over the 10 or 20 years they were robbing together, and I guarantee that Michael didn't really want to bet his family's lives on that whole thing. Not to mention there's the risk of Michael actually ending up behind bars, so like he states on various occasions, he didn't know if it was the right thing to do, but he did it anyway to protect his family and himself, of course. And I'd like to think that most of us would have done the same in that situation. Also, if you're enjoying this video right now, leave a like on the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That would help me out a ton. And also, if you want to support the channel even more, please feel free to check out my channel memberships. Another one of my main points, this is probably my main point of the whole video, is that Michael is also a good anti-hero because he does a lot of bad shit and he is far away from perfect, but we can at least somewhat relate to and most importantly understand his actions, especially when looking at him taking extreme measures to protect his family, which is something all of us could identify with, and most importantly, most of us would also do what we had to do when it comes to taking care of and protecting our loved ones. Another characteristic of an anti-hero is that they can justify their actions in their own head, no matter how bad they may be. This is of course seen with Michael too. When talking to either his friends or his therapist, he frequently mentions that he hates himself or that he doesn't like the criminal life, while also stating that at least he is doing something with his life now that he's back in the game and that he actually likes that. So it's all a way of him sort of coping with the bad things he does, and in a way also justifying everything bad that he does. So essentially he justifies his actions with self-hatred and behind this sort of facade that although he is back in the criminal lifestyle, he's doing something with his life. And this is prevalent pretty much until the ending portion of the game when he starts working at the movie studio with Solomon Richards. But that is exactly what had to happen to him for him to realize that the old days weren't as good as he made them seem in his head before going back to crime. Another reason why he can be relatable is that he is someone who had a rough childhood. Throughout various conversations with different characters, we know that Michael's dad was abusive to him and later abandoned him, and also that he grew up in a trailer park in the United States' Midwest, so who knows what kind of stuff he saw at a very young age. This makes him relatable to people who had difficult childhoods. The point of an anti-hero is for the story to be about a person who most of the time did bad things, but unlike a villain, an anti-hero is someone who has at least some sort of redeeming factors, and that they are at the end of the day someone we can identify with, and more importantly understand their perspective, understand why they are who they are, and ultimately root for them in the end. And Rockstar definitely accomplished that with Michael DeSanta in my opinion, because we can see why he did what he did, we can justify his as well as our own bad actions in our head in various ways just like he does, and the most crucial thing is that we can remain on his side and continue rooting for him even though he's not a good person by any means. And no, we don't have to agree with what he does. Hell, he himself clearly has some regret and some sort of self-hatred because of his actions. But as long as we remain on his side, he is a good anti-hero. Unless you chose ending B, in which case, well, shit. But with that said, I want to thank you for watching this little bit of a character analysis of Michael DeSanta, who is in my opinion one of the best anti-heroes Rockstar ever created. If you enjoyed this video, again, leave a like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That helps me out a ton. Until the next video stream, bye bye.